everyone, it's Charlotte from Anpasaka Yoga here. So today we are beginning a little series on Sun Salutations, also known as Surya Namaskara or Surya Namaskar depending on dialect. So the first one we are doing is the Ashtanga style Surya Namaskar. So in Ashtanga there are two styles of Sun Salutations. We have Surya Namaskar A, which is what we're doing today, and we have Surya Namaskar B. So we usually have A followed by B, or we always have A followed by B in an Ashtanga practice. Sun Salutations in Ashtanga are done at the beginning of the session. The Sun Salutations are the warm-up. Now, we usually do between 3 and 5 to warm the body up. So we say between 3 and 5 because if you are slightly newer to it, you wouldn't want to exhaust yourself before the practice itself. So Sun Salutations are just the warm-up. Although if you do them, you'll see that they are more than just a warm-up. So I like to think of Surya Namaskara as the burpees of yoga because they kind of get every bit of the body. You're working with the breath, so you've got that whole vinyasa flow, you're working with flexibility, you're working with strength, and in maybe one of the other Surya Namaskara videos we may be working with chants as well, so we'll be working with the breath, with the body, with flexibility, with strength, and also with chants. So let's get started. Okay, so there are a few contraindications to Sun Salutations. The first being if you have any lower back issues, because we will be going into some forward folds. The second being if you have high blood pressure. So by high blood pressure I mean if it is uncontrolled high blood pressure, if you are not on any medication for it. The third contraindication is if you have any eye pressure issues, so if you have glaucoma or a detached retina, that's because we'll be doing some inverted moves, so we'll have the head below the heart and we don't want any excess pressure on the eyes. Now there is one kind of contraindication which is up to you whether you take it on or not, and that is if you are currently menstruating. Now, you may find that you feel a bit more groggy, so you don't want to do them and it doesn't feel like it's beneficial to you, or you may feel absolutely fine when you're menstruating and you want to get on. So as I say, it's entirely up to you. Personally, I just do them because I feel fine. Well, I don't feel fine, but I'm not going to do what someone tells me to do when I'm menstruating. Okay, we're going to start in Tadasana. So I'm going to show you briefly what Tadasana is. So we say feet at hip distance. Often people will think their hips are at this sticky out bit of the hips, at your iliac crest, but that's not why we mean hip distance. Hips are here. This is where the joint of the hips is that you can feel moving. So we take the feet in. It's roughly about the distance of your fist in between your feet. And we have shoulders nice and relaxed. So we're not pinning them back with the chest puffed forwards. At the same time, we need to make sure they're not rolled forwards and we have this kind of hang over the top. So you want to kind of find a nice neutral in between with the chin tucked slightly towards the chest. And we're going to use our Ujjayi breath when we move through Sun Salutations. So that's that slight restriction in the throat that Darth Vader breath. Excuse me. So it's coming to the front of your mat, feet in Tadasana, hands at the heart centre in Anjali Mudra. So this is the position at the beginning and the end of the Sun Salutations. So as I say, we do move through the breath, but feel free to go at your own pace as we are just being introduced to this. I will say when the breaths come, but go at your own pace, listen to your body, and do what feels good for you. Inhale, taking the hands up above the head, slight back bend. Exhale, you can either take the arms wide or you can bring them down through the midline, taking hands all the way to the floor. You can keep a bend in the knees so the chest and the thighs are in contact. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the back so you can keep the hands on the floor. You can take them to the shins or to the thighs. Exhale, hands back on the floor. We're going to take a little walk back into plank. So plank, you can be off the knees or you can come down onto the knees. Exhaling, coming down to Chaturanga on the ground. Inhaling, pushing up into Cobra. So we're going to stick with Cobra first. Hips are on the floor, gaze is ahead of you. Exhale, rolling the toes under, pushing into Downward Dog. I'm going to take my glasses off before they fall off. So you can keep a bend, a generous bend in the knees, keep the heels off the ground. What we're looking for is that straight line from the tip of the head all the way to the tailbone. Keep the head hanging nice and neutral. We stay here for 5 breaths. So keeping strong into the arms. Make sure the weight is shifted towards the back. We're not taking it over towards the shoulders. The end of the 5 breaths, inhaling, taking the gaze forwards and walking back into that halfway lift. Remember, you can have the hands and the shins on the thighs on the floor. Exhale, coming down into your forwards fold and keep the knees bent. Inhale, with a bend in the knees, we're going to unfold, taking the hands all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands towards the heart. So we do this 5 times, as I say, 3 to 5 times. We're going to do it 5 times today. So I'm going to take it a little bit further so you can stick with the original modifications, or you can try what I'm doing next. So inhale, hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, coming down into that forwards fold. Inhale, up to your halfway lift. Exhale, we're going to step back into plank this time. Remember, you can come onto your knees if you want. That was on an inhale, sorry. Exhale, coming down into Chaturanga. So again, you can come down all the way onto your hips. Inhale into Cobra, rolling the toes under. Exhale, Downward Dog. So again, you can keep the heels off the ground, keep a bend in the knees, whatever is good for you. 5 breaths. So you are sucking the bottom of your stomach in, breathing high into the chest, strong into the arms, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, and trying to draw the chest and the thighs together. The end of your 5 breaths, inhale, gaze forwards and take a step, doesn't matter which foot, towards the front, coming to that halfway lift. Exhale, down into your forwards fold. Inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, in prayer, down towards the heart. So I'm going to add a jump in now, and we're going to take it to upward facing dog, so you can stick with cobra. If that's good for you, take it again to wherever you want. Inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, forwards fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands onto the floor and jumping down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bending the elbows, slowly coming down into chaturanga. You can stay a few inches off the ground. Push up, keep the hips off the ground, straightening the arms into upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling under. The toes coming into downward facing dog. So 5 breaths in downward facing dog. Remember, keeping the stomach tucked in, breathing high into the chest, accessing that ujjayi breath. So there's that slight restriction in the throat. Strong in the legs, strong in the arms, shoulders away from the ears. Allow the head to hang naturally. Five breaths, gaze forwards. Going to bend the knees, jump forwards into that halfway lift. Exhale into forwards fold. Inhale, taking the hands up towards the sky, into prayer. Exhale, down towards the heart. So we've done 3, 2 more. So I'm going to go through a little bit faster. Remember, go at your own pace. You can stop the video if you want to take your time. Inhale, towards the sky. Exhale, forwards fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jumping back. Inhale, in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. 5 breaths. Sucking the stomach in, breathing high into the chest, allowing the head to hang naturally. Five breaths, gaze forwards, jumping into that halfway lift. Exhale, forwards fold. Inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands towards the heart. One last time. Inhale, up towards the sky. Exhale, forwards fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump into plank. Inhale. Exhale into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Taking 5 breaths. So settling in to downward facing. This is our rest position. It may not feel particularly restful at the moment, but enjoy it. Five breaths. Inhale, gaze forwards. Halfway lift. Exhale, forwards fold. Inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down towards the heart. Closing the eyes, relaxing the body, feeling the benefits, allowing the breath to return back to its natural rhythm. If you can, sticking with that Ujjayi breath. So allowing the body to relax, feeling that strength, that flexibility that we've built up. So we're going to come back down to the floor in quite a similar way to the Sun Salutation. So inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, forwards fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jumping or stepping back into plank. Inhale, exhale, coming down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So you can either come onto your knees or you can shift the weight forwards and you can do a little hop crossing the legs into nice cross-legged position. Okay, so those are your Surya Namaskar A's. Sorry, it's very, it gets me very out of breath talking at the same time as doing them. Let me just take a few breaths. So, as I say, these are done at the beginning of an Ashtanga session. After that we would go into Surya Namaskar B, which I will be showing you a bit later, and then onto the different postures running throughout the first series. So at the end of an Ashtanga session we have our a little bit of meditation time. So staying with your legs crossed, and you can take the hands onto the knees or wherever is comfortable. I'm going to take a mudra, so that's a little hand gesture. So I'm going to do chin mudra. I've got my thumb and my first finger making a little circle. My 3 other fingers are straight together. So in Ashtanga there's a slight difference that we keep the arms straight as we do this and keep the head, chin tucked towards the chest, closing the eyes, and we're going to use that Ujjayi breath again for 10 breaths. At the end of the 10th breath, opening the eyes, raising the gaze, taking the hands in Anjali Mudra at the heart centre. Folding the body forwards, taking the head down to the earth, giving yourself and the earth thanks for the practice today. Coming back up, opening the eyes. Thank you for joining me on this Ashtanga practice today. Namaste.